it became funnier when I like threw away all this extra stuff. So I said sometimes you can go deep into it, and sometimes you should stay on the surface.
Hi, I'm Alex DeLerma, and this is the Cinema Gym. If these videos are helping you and you want to see some more, please like, subscribe, comment. Let's keep this thing going. You crack me up.
Thanks, dude.
Majed Sayess.
Yep.
You're one of the stars of The Promised Land.
Thank you.
On YouTube. Very funny,
Yes.
Biblical office-like
Parks
comedy.
and Rec, yeah. Abbott Elementary, sure.
And my question to you for this episode is, there's a saying that's been going around for decades that comedy is harder than drama.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a myth or is that true?
It's true. All right, see you later.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Majed.
I'm such a ham.
Why is comedy harder than drama?
Because to do good comedy, like we were talking about, like Robin Williams style comedy, Jim Carrey comedy, there's so many others to name, but it comes from a real place. And when I do comedy, and I know this is what you taught me, I do all the drama work first, and then I like dress it in the comedy afterwards. And I'll even take it out into the streets, take it to a coffee shop, and try on this character for size. But I do all the intentional work. I do all the emotional prep. I do all my emotional states of being, blah blah, whatever it is, whatever your process is. I do all that stuff, and then I like put on the comedy suit at the end of it and find the timing for it, the rhythm. So I think it's harder because you're doing two jobs, I think, to get it right. I
teach that, and I think that is really smart and admirable when actors approach a comedic role in that manner. Very often comedic actors don't do that.
Yeah.
I find it's a myth.
Okay.
And that is not to make anybody else wrong, because everybody I ask this question gives me the same answer. And the reason here's why I think it's a myth. If you look at something like Deer Hunter with John Savage, who literally has an emotional breakdown on camera, as does Christopher Walken, and the horrors that Robert De Niro go through.
Sure.
When you're doing that level of emotional work and intensity, and you go home from that, you're losing a little piece of your soul. When you perform in a comedy...
So you're saying losing a piece of your soul is a bad thing?
I think so.
Okay, got it.
I think so. I think these types of really, really heavy dramas, and I'm using extremes now. Like, look at the TV movie Sybil.
Or look at Joker. What's his name? Heath Ledger. R.I.P. Heath Ledger.
And see, that is not...
He went so deep into that role, and then, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that... decades ago, that myth was created to make comedic actors feel better. And when you say something enough, it becomes, perception becomes reality.
Right, that's right.
And so my last sort of by the way, the reason I ask this question is I want to test my own theories.
Yeah.
And I do this in class.
Yeah.
And there's been times that actors have changed my mind about something on screening night, and we're watching it, and I'm going, hey, remember what you said to me? But I don't want to digress. The final thing is, what's harder?
Yeah.
Running the Boston Marathon or a 4-minute mile?
Yeah, the Boston Marathon, obviously. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I'm not a good distance runner?
A 4-minute mile.
What if I'm a better sprinter?
How long does it take to go a mile? I don't run. Clearly don't run.
My point is that if I were talking to a distance runner, then he'd say 4-minute mile is harder. If I'm talking to a sprinter, he'd say the Boston Marathon is harder. And so for comedy and drama, I would challenge people to rethink this idea that one is harder than the other. It depends on what your natural abilities are, what your training is.
Yeah, some people are just gifted with just naturally, they're just funny. They're very funny.
From a very early age, I'm sure you did the same thing. I was a class clown.
Yeah.
I was in trouble a lot, and I enjoyed entertaining the audience. So by the time I started to get into theater, it was like a duck to water. And people were like, who's this kid?
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm going, I've been doing this through first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. I've been suspended how many times for my shenanigans?
Dude, I've lost so many jobs for being out of pocket, and now I get paid to be out of pocket. So, what a country.
When I finally, but my desire was to be the next Al Pacino.
Yeah, I think I wanted to be the next Ed Norton, so I get it. I'm like, I'm not Ed.
But,
look at
but
me.
when I
like,
tried to have the deep, dramatic, the depth to those performances, it eluded me, and I was like, and I spent years and years and years and years learning how to train in order to emotionally prepare and to do these things.
I think it depends on. I think it's I know you make a really good case because I think it's project to project. I remember one time you were helping me with this tape, or no, it was actually in-person callback for a Chuck Lorre show. So like 2.5 Men kind of show.
I believe you.
I forget it, but it was for the lead.
We do a lot.
It was for a lead. We do a lot.
Callback.
Do you remember that? I was doing all this extra stuff, and you were like, dude, you got to say it at this speed, you know? And this is kind of before I had gotten into stand-up as well and finding that kind of timing. But you were like, they wrote these words to be said in a certain kind of way. And so, like, I guess it became funnier when I, like, threw away all this extra stuff. So I said, sometimes you can go deep into it, and sometimes you should stay on the surface, you know?
That's another topic, right? Genre and tone, in which you have become a jiu-jitsu master. Thank you. The Cinema Gym is all about helping you transition from the stage to the screen. If you're interested in classes, seminars, or private coaching, you can visit the website. Hope to see you in the gym soon.
TheCinemaGym.com for virtual one-on-one coaching for camera.